We will start our classes now. So some of you have joined, might be due to the network issues. Or some I hope some of you will return it back, but I will continue my classes. I'll start to continue my classes. So this is the first class for the paper SOM 6213 Law and Sociology. The credits is 4 credits. And this paper is from the second semester of Sociology MA. And in these credits, today we will I will give you a brief introduction what the syllabuses would be and what the course outcome and the objectives. And then we will try to proceed as much as possible regarding the Block-1. So the main course objectives this time it is to provide a comprehensive understanding of the dynamic interplay between society and law, focusing on social structure, norms, and behaviors. This syllabus and this course is trying to make you understand regarding the dynamic relations between how समाज और नियम के relation पर focusing on how the humans try to shape each other behaviors and norms what existed in the law. By understanding the courses, you'll able to develop the interdisciplinary skill, how the legal law in terms of the norms and the modern society, how they are interrelated and connected, which is very fundamental in order to understand and to develop our understanding of society. And then in Block 1, you're able to understand the sociology of law and the theoretical perspective, and then we will come towards the law as a social institutions, and then you're able to and then you're able to complete what is the primary source of law, and then uh, the primary source of law, the primary source of law, and then you're able to come how the law becomes as a catalyst of social change in Unit 5. That is how the syllabus will be structured. So today we will try to look in Block 1. So let us first start with the first class regarding the Block 1. As I have told you, this paper is related how law and sociology are connected. It means how law and society are connected in our society. So let us first start with what do you understand by sociology of law? Sociology of law is a subdiscipline of sociology that examines the law as a collection of social customs. It serves as an intermediary between political interests, economic forces, and the cultural normative order of society. The key focus groups include the legal behavior, the institutional evolution, and the social constitution of justice. So, sociology of law is related as a subdiscipline of sociology, and how in our society that law are connected to each other. Here it's written as that how law are also part of our customs. Historically, law are started to establish based on the tradition and customs. It can be in terms of formal law and informal law. In formal law are the legitimate legal process where there are punishable in terms of violations of traffic rules, violations of the present government rules, and informal law are like it can be of some religious norms It can be of some traditions where punishments are not available. But sociology of law is a part of a subdiscipline of sociology where it try to understand that how in our society, whether this law are involved through political interests, to the cultural side or to the economic side, how it shapes our human life. And in this process, there are three theories. There are three philosophy in understanding of sociology of law. Number one is legal pluralism. Number two is legal consciousness. Number three is legal mobilization. Legal pluralism focuses on the coexistence of multiple legal order, the state, customarily, and religious law within one society. The state, the government, the customs in terms of the community, the religious law within society, how different law in our society. It can be your village law, it can be your community law, and the government law, and the religious law, the church law, the Hindus law, the Muslim law. So this how all these law are combined together forms the multiple legal orders. And number two forms the legal consciousness. It is about how you perceive, interpret, and respond to law in everyday life. The legal consciousness means how you try to understand, how you try to interpret what legal orders are, or what customs law are, what religious law are. And with this law, people started to have that mobilization. Number three, legal mobilization. When people make a collective effort to use law as a tool for systematic social change and power structure. So this is the main three forms of the the three process of the sociology of law of legal society is formed. As I've said, this paper of SOM 6213 in your second semester is about how law and sociology are connected. So what we have understood is that sociology of law is part of the subject of sociology, and here it tried to focus mainly on the pluralistic aspect where different laws connect each other, legal consciousness, how human understand it, legal mobilization, how they use as tool to create society changes. If we look across the subject of sociology of law, how they are connected, these origins start with 19th century, where the pioneers of sociology like Max Weber or Durkheim have tried to bring out that how sociology of law is important and significant even now. So, like for instance, like Max Weber. Max Weber is a very popular figure in sociology, where when he talks about authority in terms of traditional authority, charismatic authority, rational legal authority, he also talks about the legal aspect. The current government system of the world is based mainly on the legal aspect, where the government systems, where the democratic rules of the sovereign country elect the representation, and then these legal authority and bureaucratic systems govern our society. Emile Durkheim talks about how law as a reflection of collective conscience and social integrations and social integration establishes. In Unit 2, you'll find how law as an institution. Here, the main Unit 1 was what is sociology of law? Sociology of law is how it is connected to different types of law. It can be religious law, it can be customary law, it can be legal law. How they are connected to each other. In Unit 2, here it focuses mainly on how law as a social institution, a human organization where they create a certain kind of objectives and goal to perform in a very structural way to achieve that goal. Social institutions are stable patterns of human activity. We have a school, we have a church, we have masjid, we have a temple, we have different institutions. But law became such an institution, whether in terms of to fix the social order in terms of the violator of law. So these create to maintain the social order. And law establishes norms that organizes social life, reproducing societal structure through convention as a meta-institution. Law manages other institutions like the family, economy, and politics via legislation. The core functions of the legal system. If we look across why law as a social institution is important to regulate our behavior, it establishes standards and rules of conduct for individuals, and the resolution of disputes, providing formal mechanism, the courts for conflict, the protection of rights, safeguarding individual liberties and dignity from abuse, social justice, redressing historical injustice, and promoting equality. So the regulation of behavior, it is establishing standards and rules for conduct of individuals, and resolution of disputes, providing formal mechanism, courts, arbitration for conflict, protection of rights, safeguarding individual liberties and dignities from abuse, social justice, redressing historical injustice, and promoting equality. So law can also create as a social control, the rule of law. Without law, without rules, it can create chaos, it can create indisciplinary, it can create um, crime, it can create chaos, it can create protests, movements. So to maintain the society order, to maintain the social, to maintain the social to maintain the social order, we need certain rule of law, that how law control our behavior. So law serve as a legitimate tools that control our behavior. It can be of, for instance, in terms of traffic. In traffic rules, if there is no law, it can be a chaos where that such imbalance and this maintenance of the traffic law can create congestions or certain uh, or certain issues in terms of social order or congestions, which we have seen. A violating of rules of traffic rules can create penalties. So these certain rules of law, whether the crimes, whether the murderer, whether in terms of the rapist, so such law is required in our society to create that social maintaining order. That's where it's written here that social control involves strategy used to maintain human behavior. Law serves as a formal tool influencing behavior through the threat of sanctions, penalty for non-compliance. It balances informal norms with formal regulation to ensure stability and cohesion. If we see the primary source of law, what are the main examples of law? Number one, as a as a country, as a India, as a nation, we follow the constitution. We follow as part of we enjoy our rights as part of the constitution. The constitution being the basic examples in terms of the source of law. And number two is terms what the constitution or what the assembly have passed in terms of the acts created by the parliament. And then the courts, the Supreme Courts, the High Courts created the further rulings in terms of the guidelines. And then comes the customs and morality, the long-standing social practices that acquire legal force. So these constitution, these legislation from parliament, these high courts, supreme courts, the customs and morality. Customs and morality is the informal process. It's in village or in your community, you have your own customary law, or the chaudhry, whether in terms of the ADC's law, the certain law, the mandatory, which is mandatory, are the examples of such primary source of law. And these law are not only that humans have to behave or maintain or perform. This law can also create as part of a social change. Social change means law can become such as an example to create social change. There is a direct impact and there is also indirect impact. So legislation, if we see that explicitly forbids practices like child marriage, adult where child marriage is practiced, we can call it as part of an unlawful act, where a teenager, adolescent, the age which is not as part of the law, can create such as a taboo, whether in terms of discrimination against certain castes, discrimination certain group, discrimination certain religious group. So to create that unity in diversity, to create that respect, to create the social order, to create that maintaining uh, that equality, liberty, in terms of the social justice, that law is a part of important which create societal changes. Whether in terms of the indirect impact, law like mandatory education have become a very powerful tools that have shift cultural values and economic frameworks over time through institutionalized norms. So, uh,
Have you ever considered the complex ballet between society?
so what I was trying to tell you in the first blog, and this paper, this time in new paper SOM 6213, is that how law and sociology are connected to each other, and how in our society humans, our human society are connected to law to each other. What you have learned throughout is that how even sociology of law is part of the sub-discipline of the sociology itself, because in our human society, law is part of our fundamental unit. Law is our part of fundamental institution, which guide on our behavior, which guide on our justice, where it are interrelated to each other. Whether when we talk about the legal pluralism, the government law, the customary law, the religious law which exists, and then how we try to maintain the order based on our understanding, and then how this law can create as part of social change. And in this sociology of law and how law and sociology are connected, the main writers, the main founders were part of the Max Weber, Emile Durkheim, who are also the pioneers of sociology, and how law as also is part of our social institution to stabilize our family, economy, politics, and the society overall. How, and how it functions as a legal system in terms of behavior, in terms of dispute, conflict, in terms of rights, in terms of justice, and how law can also becomes as a norms to control the behavior and to guide social behavior, influencing certain penalties, the traffic rules, the crime, the murder, in certain cases can become as a law to guide certain behavior. And the basic examples of law, which are the most important, are like the constitution or the parliament, legislation, whether in terms of the courts, whether in terms of the customs, morality, and how law is also part of important of social change, which have a direct impact when child marriage is abolished, when untouchability is abolished, it becomes as part of creating social change, and where it also have an indirect impact. For instance, like mandatory educations also is part of a law social change, how they have transformed. So I'll show you one short video where after this short video you'll able to this is part of your tasks you can do at your home as practice as part of your as part of the class curriculum. You can see the video and try to understand far more better that how the law and sociology are connected. What these syllabus SOM 6213 Sociology, Law and Sociology paper in this second semester is about, and then and today what I was trying to imply, what I was trying to give you the gist of the syllabus and what the Block-1 is trying to signify, why it is important, the subject. So go through to the videos and try to.
Have you ever considered the complex ballet between societal norms and the law? This reciprocal relationship guides the foundation of our society and is the core of the Sociology of Law, an introduction by Roger Cotterell. Our journey begins with an insight into the sociology of law, paving the way for a deeper understanding of this intricate connection. Before exploring the sociology of law and introduction, it is essential to consider some critical viewpoints. While Roger Cotterell's book is deemed as a foundational piece in the field, it's not without differing opinions. First, some critics believe the book could expand its coverage of non-Western perspectives, a critique often attributed to Western-centric works. Second, the complexity of the theoretical frameworks presented has been a debatable point, with some readers finding the dense academic style a bit challenging. Third, critics suggest that Cotterell could enhance the theoretical focus with more empirical research, calling more rigorous data analysis. Fourth, the book has been suggested to lack an interdisciplinary perspective, with calls for a more comprehensive approach, infusing insights from psychology, anthropology, and political science. Finally, critics have requested updated editions in light of the swift societal change and the emergence of new legal issues, particularly in the digital sphere. In summary, while the Sociology of Law and Introduction is commended for its contributions, it should be noted that there are areas for improvement and alternative perspectives to consider. In the Sociology of Law and Introduction, Roger Cotterell presents a multitude of examples to elucidate the multifaceted relationship between law and society. These instances are the nexus connecting theoretical sociological constructs to palpable events. Cotterell extracts intriguing case studies from legal history, serving as profound accounts of societal conflict and resolution within specific social contexts. The law, as witnessed through these studies, emerges both as an outcome and an influential determinant of societal norms. Cotterell's arguments find solid footing through empirical research and sociological studies, marked by meticulous data scrutiny, which complement theoretical discourses. Historical events and developments, too, lend themselves as potent illustrations. The evolution of legal structures across different timelines serves to demonstrate the transformative effect of social, political, and economic shifts on law. Cotterell's comparative analysis, contrasting distinct legal frameworks, underscores the role of cultural milieu in shaping legal systems. Lastly, Cotterell ventures into contemporary concerns, from digital technology to human rights debates, accentuating the relevance of sociological viewpoints in comprehending the current legal climate. With a tapestry of diverse examples, the Sociology of Law and Introduction aims to impart viewers with a comprehensive understanding of the entwined dance between law and society. Exploring further into the Sociology of Law and Introduction, we now shift our focus to key examples that Roger Cotterell utilizes to elucidate the intricate interplay between law and society. Initially, we revisit ancient societies with the exemplar of the Code of Hammurabi, one of the world's oldest known writings. This archaic legal text, etched on a 7-foot stele, encapsulates the values of Babylonian society, showcasing how societal mores can transform into law. Progressing to contemporary times, we deal with fresh legal quandaries stemming from the digital revolution. Cotterell addresses the case of digital privacy, a passionately discussed topic in our Interconnected. He investigates how legal systems strive to match the swift technological progression, aiming to harmonize individual privacy rights with societal interest in technological advancement. Concludingly, we scrutinize a pivotal legal case that highlights societal impact on legal interpretation and decision-making. Cotterell explains the historic Brown v. Board of Education case, which terminated racial segregation in American schools. The case epitomizes how societal evolution can induce significant shifts in legal interpretation. As we traverse these examples, we acquire a profound understanding of the diverse array of cases Cotterell employs to reinforce his arguments. Such instances enhance our comprehension of the sociology of law while emphasizing the dynamic interplay between law and society. Transitioning to the third scene, the emergence and evolution of law, we're returning to the origins of law to appreciate its evolution. Law's inception is intertwined with the maturation of human societies, mirroring the rise in complexity with its own apparatus for order and dispute resolution. In In this segment, we travel from the infancy of legal systems, ruled by customs and traditions, to the organized legal structures of the present. It's essential to acknowledge that the progression of law is not linear, but a dynamic interplay of various societal, political, and economic elements. We'll examine how diverse societies tailored their legal resonate with their unique contexts, and the role of pivotal legal figures and cases in steering legal history. This historical exploration furnishes us with a robust foundation to comprehend the intricate bond between law and society as we probe deeper into our discourse. Commence this journey, tracing the trajectory of legal evolution from Hammurabi's code right up to the digital age's cyber laws. Segment 4. Theoretical perspectives on law and society. As we advance, a variety of theoretical perspectives. These conceptual constructs provide unique lenses to examine the conjunction of law and society. Through understanding these, we gain a nuanced comprehension of the legal landscape and the societal forces that shape it. Proceeding to Scene 5, the intersection of law and society. Here, we explore the functionality of legal frameworks within societal environments. We illuminate the substantial impact that societal elements have on legal occurrences, underscoring the imperative to consider these factors in our interpretation. Scene 6, exploration of legal frameworks. Our exploration progresses with a comprehensive inspection of legal systems. These pillars of justice, crucial to the comprehension of societal law, we examine their primary functions, highlighting their essential contributions to the formulation and sustenance of the regulations we respect. Scene 7, the impact of legal culture. We segue from institutions to the domain of legal culture. In this context, we probe the norms, ethical values, and convictions supporting legal frameworks. This scrutiny uncovers the cultural aspects of law and their impact on legal customs and understandings. Scene 8, law and social change. Advancing to the pinnacle of our journey, we scrutinize the dynamic correlation between law and societal transformation. We explore the modifications of legal systems in response to societal shifts and the subsequent evolution of society, steered by these legal amendments. Scene 9, conclusion and reflection. As we draw to a close, we succinctly recap the notable insights gathered from our research. We reflect on the nuanced dance between jurisprudence and society, contemplating potential territories for future legal sociology studies. This examination not only underscores Cotterell's discoveries, but also illuminates of this fascinating interplay. Therefore, as we conclude, remember, law and society are not isolated units, but coexisting threads in the tapestry of human existence. They shape and are shaped by each other, in an unending dance that defines who we are, our aspirations, and way of this, esteemed listener, is the essence of the Sociology of Law and Introduction. Transitioning to Scene 10, key lessons. Here we encapsulate the essential messages from Roger Cotterell's The Sociology of Law and Introduction. Initially, we examine law as a societal phenomenon intricately woven into the broader social fabric, emphasizing its importance as a societal component rather than an isolated element. We then explore how social factors such as culture, politics, economics, and history shape legal systems, while reciprocally influencing society, accentuating the dynamic relationship between law and society. Moreover, appreciate the importance of employing a multidisciplinary approach towards understanding law. Inputs from various disciplines, including sociology, anthropology, and political science, enrich our understanding of law, shedding light on its intricacies. Next, we reflect upon the role of law in both supporting or challenging societal inequalities and power hierarchies, thereby recognizing its dual nature as a tool of societal control and as a means of changing societal norms. Lastly, we investigate issues related to social justice, human rights, and access to justice, emphasizing the role of law in fostering fairness and equality, while acknowledging the potential hurdles and opportunities in achieving these objectives. Conclusively, the Sociology of Law, an introduction, underscores the importance of viewing law not in isolation, but as an integral part of society, providing a framework for understanding the reciprocal relationship between law and societal life, while encouraging us to engage critically with the law, appreciate its role in our lives, and strive for a more equitable society. Proceeding to Scene 11, contemporary relevance. Roger Cotterell's The Sociology of Law and Introduction offers timeless insights and perspectives, rendering it of significant relevance in today's world. The complexities of our interconnected globe necessitate an understanding of the interplay between law and society.
So this is the first class to give you a basic introduction how l- law and law and sociology are connected. The mic was muted actually. I was speaking for a while. Now we have opened again. So if you have any questions related to the video and to classes, you can ask me. And then today, what I was trying to say you was that how law is part of integral part of society. Whether we talk about in terms of the culture, religion, economics, politics, or history, law has been part of the society of its other from throughout the history. So so in this process, in this process, how that reciprocally how we are connected to each other. So this is the first class of law and sociology. My next class will happen today for urban sociology. That is on 4 p.m. See you on 4 p.m. So if have so that is the first class for today. If you have any query, you can ask me.